Jack Thunder and the Fragments of Anima. Book 5. Fire. Chapter 4. Welcome to the Jungle. San breathed a sigh of relief as he felt the road even out underneath him. The path down the mountain hadn't exactly been the smoothest, and every jolt from a stray rock made his head flare up in pain once more. But now that the trailer had made its way into the jungle, not only had the inside become nice and warm, but he could finally go to sleep. He turned his head to the side. Terry had already fallen asleep. San marveled at how he could fall asleep so easily on the road. Then again, he didn't have a concussion. Terry shivered in his sleep. San's memory flashed back to a few months ago. Jack Thunder had gotten no magic poisoning when a bolt of the unnatural energy struck him in the shoulder. The Tengu wondered if Terry had also been poisoned when he ran the cloud into the null magic bubble. That would explain why he was so sick. San rolled onto his back. He stared at the dark ceiling for a few minutes, listening to the sounds of rainforest birds and insects just outside. His eyelids drooped, and before long, he was out. Snotter sat up straight and tall on the back of the wagon. She didn't dare take her eyes off the scene in front of her. It didn't matter how calm and peaceful everything appeared to be. There was danger all around, and if it pounced, she would strike it down. In her hands, she could feel Terra pulsing faster every minute. The earthen broadaxe's glow still shone the same burning red as it did earlier. They were getting closer to Yuuki, and closer to danger. Snotter, you alright? You look awfully tense. Snotter didn't even look away. Not important, Buckthorn. I gotta watch for trouble. Buckthorn knew there was no point in arguing with the snail. This is what she'd been trained for. She turned around and went back inside. San and Terry were both asleep. Buckthorn made her way to Terry's side. He stirred, rolling over on his back. His eyes fluttered open. Buckthorn? Hey, how are you doing? He sighed. Ugh, could be better. Buckthorn could imagine. All the light seemed to have gone out of his eyes. She wondered if their crash into the null magic bubble had left him poisoned. She remembered how sick Jack Thunder was when she'd first met him. It took weeks in the hospital for him to recover from that. She looked about the cabin. Was there anything she could use to make a potion? She didn't see anything right offhand. All of a sudden, the trailer halted. Buckthorn could hear growling sounds from outside. Jack Thunder and the others hurried inside, slamming the back door behind them. What in Alterus is going on? Buckthorn hurried over to the window. When she saw what had alarmed the others, she ducked down, trying to make herself invisible. 2 lava dragon whelps with blackened scales darted past the wagon. Buckthorn heard a thump and a yell, followed by the sound of something dragging across the grass. The whelps, both the size of horses, flapped their wings, lifting their quarry off the ground. The one closest to them had sulfur-yellow veins between his scales, while the other's veins were a pinkish red. A harpy wearing an eye patch was thrashing and scrambling, trying to loosen herself from the whelp's grip. Her gray feathers were crushed and falling out. Before Buckthorn could wonder just what she had done to deserve to be imprisoned, the 2 whelps took flight, lifting her off the ground. From inside the wagon, Buckthorn could faintly hear their conversation. Ha! We gotcha! That should teach you not to try and escape again. She put up quite a fight back there. Is it just me, or did she get stronger too? Yeah, I noticed that. Probably something to do with that smog coming from the mountain. Do you think it's the Wendigos? Dunno. I didn't see any Wendigo slime coming from her mouth. The 2 voices abruptly paused. Buckthorn heard a distant grunt of frustration, then the sound of 2 pairs of wings flapping off into the distance. They were gone. It was a good minute before Jack Thunder and the others could relax their shoulders and breathe again. It ran in the storm gremlin's head over and over again. They had come this close to an encounter with a dangerous outlaw. If those two hadn't shown up... He shook his head. He shouldn't worry so much. When was the last time he'd failed? He remembered how he'd faced down Captain Blackheart in the Turquoise Archipelago. It was only him, Frosty, San, and Buckthorn. Not to mention, he had a banged-up shoulder during the battle. They still managed to beat her and get the Wendigos out of her system. Why did he think this would have been any different? San. He looked over to the bed where San was still asleep. He hadn't seemed to notice what had just happened at all. That crash landing we had must have really knocked him out, Jack Thunder thought. As the others went back outside to their posts, Jack Thunder and Razor stayed behind with Buckthorn. The storm gremlin took his post at the foot of San's bed. Razor jumped up on the bed and curled up atop San's chest. As Buckthorn resumed looking for herbs in the cabin, his gaze fell back on the Tengu. San opened his eyes. Through bleary vision, he recognized the form of the storm gremlin above him. He smiled. "What are you looking at me like that for, Jack? You didn't hear what just went on outside?" San sighed. "No, I think I fell asleep." "You didn't just hear that prisoner come within a hair of us?" "Jack, don't shout. You'll make his headache worse," Buckthorn scolded, holding a bundle of herbs in her hand. Right, he sighed. Buckthorn came up next to him with a cold pack she'd prepared. She placed it on San's head. The Tengu relaxed, melting into the cot. That should help you feel better at least, Buckthorn thought. She turned to Terry. Now to take care of you. She took the herbs in her hand over to the counter and began grinding them into a powder. Buckthorn remembered how her mother made lay potions. She just needed silverleaf, aruberry, coca bark, and what? What was she forgetting? She stopped pounding the herbs in her mortar and looked out the window. There had to be something she wasn't remembering. But what was it?